Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. CPA held an emergency meeting regarding the coronavirus and its effects on the CNMI. Also tonight, individuals were arrested for the trafficking of ice. And the CNMI House is looking at financial options for the effects on tourism from the coronavirus. In sports, boys high school hoops tip off with players aplenty. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
What is Whole Home Wi-Fi? Whole Home Wi-Fi spreads Wi-Fi across your entire home. Pods plug straight into the wall. No messy cables. They spread the internet from your modem to every corner of your home at full speed. Whole Home Wi-Fi doesn't just make your Wi-Fi faster. It intelligently adapts to your environment and manages your Wi-Fi 24/7 based on insight like the number and types of devices connected to your home. Whole Home Wi-Fi, powered by Plume. Learn more at docomopacific.com.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537.
Hafa Day, Tirawami, and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Thursday, January 30th, 2020. The Commonwealth Ports Authority held an emergency meeting this morning to discuss the governor's emergency declaration on the coronavirus outbreak. Here are the details.
CBP currently and DHS does not have a travel ban in effect, but we do respect the governor's authority and executive order on trying to contain this virus.
Governor Ralph Torres declared a state of significant emergency concerning the coronavirus in the CNMI and asked CPA to stop incoming flights from China, as he does not have the authority to do so under federal regulations.
Over the course of this past week, we have been in consultation with the governor, and the governor, this decision for an executive order didn't just come out of the blue. This is has been an ongoing conversation with the governor, just monitoring the situation. And obviously there's questions as to, who has the authority to suspend or ban flights, given the fact that, we have grant assurance requirements through the FAA and DOT, which we fall under.
The CPA board had a teleconference with the Department of Transportation and FAA this morning, but the response is that the authority lies with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security.
Teleconference basically was to kind of, get a little bit more clarity on who has the authority, and from our consultation, the authority lies within Customs and Border Patrol and Homeland Security. But they also affirmed our decision, or actually supported our decision, and said that we were taking the right precautionary steps in terms of working directly with the airlines and asking for their cooperation and collaboration in as far as securing our borders.
Hines says during the teleconference, DOT referenced the 5 confirmed cases in the U.S. mainland that were traced by CDC, and states the virus is not spreading from those already infected.
From what they've shared, these 5 people were in contact with over 100 people, and they were able to go back and trace all those individuals to monitor and do a health assessment. And what they found basically is that there has been no spread of the virus to those other people that they've been in contact with.
All the airlines that fly into the CNMI directly from the mainland China have suspended their flights effectively February 1st, per order by the Chinese government, where the planes are now being ferried in and taking the remainder of Chinese tourists back to China.
We have 3 airlines who have voluntarily suspended: Sichuan Air, Beijing Capital, and China Eastern. These are all the airlines who fly in directly from mainland China. We still have Hong Kong Express that we have not officially heard from, but they're not coming in from mainland China. They're obviously from Hong Kong.
But other airlines, like United, are also taking steps to protect passengers as well as those who live in the CNMI.
Our next step after the governor has issued the letter, which he issued yesterday, is to work closely with CPA here. So I'll be meeting with the airport director and get a better definition as to what we need to do out of Guam for customers who travel into Saipan. So hopefully a little bit later today we'll have more clarification, and we keep working through that. It's a fluid situation, as everybody knows, and so we'll do our best to accommodate all of our customers under the situation.
Customs and Border Protection states they are doing their part to prevent the coronavirus from entering into the Commonwealth.
Currently, we have deployed PPE equipment at the airport with CBP to try to mitigate this virus, and also our headquarters is in contact with the governor and try to make sure the process is in place where we can provide additional support and guidance as far as federal requirements of entry of passengers into the CNMI. We currently are open to all passengers at the Saipan International Airport and will process them accordingly.
There are still no cases or suspected cases of the coronavirus in the CNMI. CHCC states blood as well as swabs of the nose and mouth are taken by any patient that gets tested for the virus, and those samples are then shipped over to CDC for the results. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell. 3 individuals have been arrested for trafficking crystal methamphetamine. According to the Department of Public Safety, a Chamorro female, Charlene Ariola, is charged with 1 count of possession and count 1 of trafficking. A Chinese male, Lingui Ming, aka Brother, is charged with 1 count of possession and 1 count of trafficking. And a Chinese female, Shihua K, aka Mindy, is charged with 2 counts of possession, 2 counts of trafficking, and 1 count of conspiracy charges. All 3 individuals were busted under a drug buy-walk operation by the CNMI Drug Enforcement Task Force. Arrest warrants were issued by the CNMI Superior Court, and bail is set at $100,000 for each person. The House of Representatives also held an emergency meeting in the chamber this morning discussing the possible effects of the CNMI State of Emergency Declaration. Sally Lemus has the details.
With the suspension of flights from China, the CNMI is looking at a 20% shortage in projections, which is about $40 million. Speaker of the House B.J. Atau decided to address the situation with House members for anticipation of an economic shortfall.
I was looking at the historical data when I was looking at the Asian economic crisis, which hit the Japanese market back in 98, 99, right? So when we were slowly recovering back with the Japanese market, the SARS epidemic hit back in 2002. So we've faced these types of stuff, but we need to utilize the information that we got back then to be able to project for the future.
Atau says there are 2 options that may be an effect of the CNMI situation.
There's 2 options. They can do an across-the-board cut, which is to the emergency authority of the governor, and an across-the-board cut, which is every entity at whatever the percentage is through their calculations. It's going to affect every single line item of the budget. That's the one thing.
Yes, that's one option.
And then there's that's equal to everybody. Then the other option is possibly revisiting the current budget and changing the numbers, but then that most likely won't be an equal cut across.
Atau says an across-the-board cut is the fastest way and will have less impact in totality, but can only be done by the governor through the emergency powers and the Planning and Budgeting Act. Atau stresses at the end of the day the House wants to prevent panic, but all these steps are necessary for the health of the people.
Disasters or emergencies are not new to the CNMI.
We faced it even before we became a CNMI, and we got out of it. We'll figure a way to get out of this.
This is Sally Lemus for KSPN News.
The HIV and STD program is now located at the main campus of the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. In line with the integration of public health clinical services, the CHCC's HIV and STD Resource and Treatment Center is now located on the first floor, Public Health Door number 2 at the main campus. The hours and phone number for the program remain the same, Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. For more information, you may reach the center at 664-4050. Coming up, the Division of Customs Services speaks on the taxing of a chemical compound used for relaxation. Find out more after the break.
Mom, are you sure? What about the shutters? And do you have your medicine?
Don't worry about us, love, okay? You take good care of yourself. Hi, my love. Yeah, sorry. The power went out, so I had to light up all the candles. Yeah. Yes, baby, yeah. I'm just glad our home phone's working and we're able to contact you.
Do you have a team or company? Bring them to the Adventure Specialist, Saipan's homegrown Marianas Trekking. Our guided adventures will challenge and excite you, and our award-winning photographers will capture it in a unique and unforgettable way. Check out our off-roading, go-karting, mountain biking, hiking, and snorkeling. And we have top-notch rental gear too. So bring your team, bring your family, or bring your best friend. Marianas Trekking inside the Mariana Resort.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. It is CNMI Customs Week, and the Divisions of Customs Service is responsible for controlling the flow of goods that enter the CNMI ports. One of those items is CBD.
Every day we talked about CBD.
CBD, a chemical compound used for a feeling of relaxation and calm. CBD is legal to enter the CNMI, but officials from the CNMI Customs are asking for more clarity on the tax rate because it comes in so many different forms.
It's coming in different forms, it's gummy bears. Food stuff is 1%. So now if it's laced with, if it's with CBD, what is it? What is the rate now? And even cosmetics and lotions and toiletries and all those stuff. So it's still something that our legal counsel needs to give us advice so we can, because there's so many inquiries. Vaping also, the vapes, the CBD. We don't have any definite answer yet. We're still waiting for the legal counsel to give us an advice.
Currently, CBD is getting taxed under the cannabis law.
The cannabis law has a line item in there that all CBD products, all marijuana products, all cannabis products, whether they're imported and or manufactured, grown here in the CNMI, are going to be taxed at the tax rate of 15%.
But officials from Customs just wants to make sure all items are taxed according to the proper classification.
So how that gets imported and the end result, the way something is used, changes dramatically with its tax classification. So with gummy bears, for example, CBD gummies, they are consumables, they're an edible, so their first thought is that's at 1% because it's a food item. Well, however, if you take a look at the definition of what a food item is in our law and regulation, it doesn't offer any nutritious value. So it's one of those things where, well, then we can classify it as the all others at 5%, but then we also have the 15% that's written into law.
And now Customs is just waiting on a response from the Office of the Attorney General.
Customs is hoping that we get the official word, the official opinion from the Office of the Attorney General in order to correctly classify the items that are being imported and or manufactured here in the CNMI, well, to better serve the people. Again, we don't want to overtax or undertax.
On Guam, a naval criminal investigation is still ongoing for non-consensual videos of service members. And Guam has not seen any impact yet from the coronavirus, but has protocols in set in case they are needed. KUAM reports.
Half a day CNMI, here's what's making news on Guam. No new information is being released on a Naval Criminal Investigation Service probe into explicit videos taken aboard the Guam-based submarine tender, the U.S. Emery S. Land. According to Joint Region Marianas Public Affairs Officer Lieutenant Commander Rick Moore, quote, NCIS is investigating a report of non-consensual online distribution of explicit videos and images of service members. The investigation is in the early stages and it would be inappropriate for the Navy to discuss specifics, end quote. NBC News has reported that videos of service members were secretly taped through a peephole in a bathroom. The videos were then reportedly shared on the pornographic website Pornhub. In a statement, Moore said the potential victims are being notified in a coordinated effort by NCIS commander leadership and victims' legal counsel. He said the website hosting the videos and images has complied with a request to remove the videos and images and is cooperating with the ongoing investigation. The spokesman says the Navy holds personnel to the highest standards of conduct. We take allegations of misconduct seriously and we are committed to a thorough investigation. And the Centers for Disease Control has raised its travel precautions for China to its highest level, as there are now almost 6,000 confirmed cases and 131 dead from the coronavirus there. There are more than 70 confirmed cases outside of China, including at least 5 in the U.S. Meanwhile, locally, officials continue to monitor the situation, but so far Guam is still considered at low risk. The main tourism industry has been vulnerable in the past 2 outbreaks, such as SARS, and Visitors Bureau Vice President Bobby Alvarez says they are meeting regularly with public health, customs, the airport, and other key agencies.
Our role here is basically for information and an education part. So on top of that, we also are in touch with our source markets overseas. We're getting information from them daily on what's going on over there so that when we get information that's important, we can share it and push it forward to the proper government agencies.
According to its website, CDC recommends that travelers avoid all non-essential travel to China. And Chinese officials have closed transport within and out of Wuhan and other cities in Hubei province, the source of the virus. Guam has not seen any impact yet to arrivals.
We're just all waiting for information to trickle in as it comes in. And right now, there's no real alarm because there's been a lot of controls put in place overseas. So our overseas markets are giving us information, as I stated earlier, on what's happening. So we're pretty good so far.
GVB and the airport say they have protocols to follow should they need to escalate their responses. The CDC and Guam Public Health have said the coronavirus is a rapidly evolving situation. For the latest updates, you can check the Centers for Disease Control website at cdc.gov. Stay connected via our KUAM mobile news app. Follow us on any of the social media platforms and sign up for our weekly email newsletter, KUAM Digital Digest, on KUAM.com. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Thank you, Adriana. Coming up, the girls' fast-pitch softball season is coming to a rapid close. Oh no! Sports is next. Oh no! Watch the Visitors Channel online, on time, anytime at saipantv.com. Where to go, what to see, what to do. Restaurants, spas, activities, and culture. It's all in one place, in high definition, on your mobile device. saipantv.com. Check it out.
You deserve more. I know it's been hard. Come on, let's go for a ride.
Hi, welcome to Dow Rent to Own.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now this feels like home.
Dial Rent to Own. Making lives better since 1987.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, boys high school hoops are back and in a big way too. The high school league opened up this week. The doors to the MHS gym open for wall-to-wall action. Basketball junkie Robert Torres stoked to be an eyewitness. What are we watching here?
What we have here, Bob, is the inaugural games of the PSS Interscholastic season. It's a fine bunch of players this year. A lot of speed, a lot of enthusiasm, very well balanced, and great coaching. What can you say?
You could say Captain Kirby Mangati has his shot bounce in against Cagman JVs. J.R. Palmas, he knocks down that fall away. In front of a good turnout on an after-school activity. 10 teams, 140 players. And when students want to stay after school, you know that's significant. The air conditioning still doesn't work, but hey, people do.
Well, it's a testament to the effort of organization, I think. Nick Rose, coaches coming together. Nice job all around.
Raven Francisco launches a counterattack for the Finns 3. Students need to learn to follow up. You know, always follow up your tasks, make sure they're completed. Like Sean Garcia, he does that. Oh, look at this.
Dribbles. There you go, pick and roll. Nice. Stockton to Malone.
Stockton to Malone.
Stockton to Malone.
Just the same. MHS 3 needed more pick and rolls. The JV step up to knock down MHS 3, 32-20. Cagman varsity on the adjacent court. That's Jimmy Jacino with the reverse against the Mount Carmel Knights. The Knights with the kick out to Matthew Richardson. Bingo. The Tovas boys came to play. Marcus and Merrick giving the Knights a pop. Nice play here. Outside, inside. Ace Evangelista with the assist to Richardson. Out to Richardson. 3 dribbles and then a stop and pop. This court, you know, a lot shorter than the regulation floor. And it's a running clock, too. Mount Carmel runs past the Azuzu in the opener, 26-18. The cleanup of the Marpy swimming pool started this morning after Governor Torres met with the Northern Marinas Sports Association yesterday. There is no timeline for the reopening of the Marpy swimming pool yet. First, it needs to be drained and cleaned, and then an assessment can be done on the scope of the project. After 16 months of no action, Swimming Federation President John Hirsch welcomed the news. At one time, he says there was a plan to build an Olympic-sized swimming pool at the American Memorial Park to make it more centralized and easier to participate for the students.
Well, I think it's a great idea, but we've met with the Park Service on several occasions, and the original 20-year ago master plan for the park did include an aquatics facility. But from what I've heard from the current leadership of the National Park Service over in Guam is that just they're not really building any new aquatic facilities in national parks anywhere in the country anymore.
That idea has been put on the back burner, and all the focus now is on that Marpy pool.
So anxious to get this facility back and running. We know this is a 50-meter pool, which is the international standard, and so many of our young kids and adults and everyone who relies on learning to swim have missed this facility. So we're so anxious to be collaborating with the government and the mayor's office and all the stakeholders to make it happen.
All right, fast pitch softball, you know, that was a premier sport back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s with men's and women's leagues. Did you know? Saipan hosted a fast pitch tournament in 1986 that included Japan's national men's team that was ranked 5th in the world, plus this. Did you know in 2004 that Saipan hosted Japan's national women's fast pitch team, the one that lost to the United States in the World Championship game? The slick fielding squad used Tangay Field for their workouts, which were especially clean and vigorous. They could go a whole practice without making one single error. Amazing. After Mount Carmel closed its ball field in the early 90s, women's fast pitch here took a break until it was revived to prepare a team for the 2006 Micronesian Games. But the lack of experience showed as the CNMI ladies lost twice to Pohnpei and twice to Palau. 2012, girls fast pitch softball was introduced at the high school level by the public school system, and that proved to be quite popular. But interscholastic sports were crushed by 2 typhoons. But that's all in the past. It's the present that matters now. The Natibu Sports Association picked up sponsorship of a girls' fast pitch league that plays Saturday afternoons on the Capitol Hill ball field. This Saturday, it's the end of the season title showdown between the Patriots and Ballas at 2 o'clock. Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw!
Let's roll at Gold's Gym Saipan with group exercise for every body. Total Resistant Exercise, or TRX, helps develop your core and improve strength. And Zumba toning is probably the funnest way to get fit. The Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplements. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Traveling or laying over on Guam? Don't wait around. Zip into Guam Adventures Zipline Park inside the Hilton Resort and Spa. Guides will take you through a series of zips, starting with a mountain course and then zip over the ocean with spectacular views of Tumon Bay. 6 zip lines in all deliver a thrilling experience, and it's family friendly, so bring the kids ages 6 and up. You'll love the security of double lines and a new braking system to make riding smoother. The towers are named after the islands in the Marianas. We call it the Island Hopper. Your guides will teach you what you need to know to soar through the jungle with a bird's eye view. Best of all, for residents of Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, you can book this experience at 20% savings. Log on to GuamAdventures.com and during checkout, use offer code HAFA20. Book it and zip it today. We'll even pick you up. Today's high 88, the low 78, 65% humidity. Tomorrow mostly cloudy. Isolated showers, winds light, variable. High 86, low 76. Seas 4 to 6 feet out there. Sunrise 6:46, high tide 2 past noon. Sunset at 6:14. Keeps creeping later and later. Oh, look at the beautiful water. Beautiful dock.
Beautiful
It
dock.
used to be more beautiful.
Beautiful day.
Oh, what a nice day.
Yeah.
This is our best weather. Last year, if you remember, and you may not, you probably do though.
Possibly.
Our winter was about 2 weeks long. We had 2 weeks of really nice weather, and then it got really, really warm. And so we've had about a month of cool weather. So.
Yeah, it's been nice. So you think February is going to be a little bit cooler than we've had this month?
Yeah, I hope so.
You say?
Waiting for the mangoes and avocados. That's what I'm waiting for. We didn't have any last year. So I see a lot of flowers on those trees, but I haven't seen any fruit yet.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll see. All right, well, thank you for watching. Catch us back here tomorrow night at 6.
Good night.